Hello you and welcome back to Scandinavian Design 101. I'm Sanna.
I'm Andreas and we are two Swedes and we love design.
Yay.
And last year we released the video Top 5 Megastars of Danish Design You Need to Know. And there's a link in the description if you want to watch that video. But we provided you with an introduction to the most important persons and shared some interesting anecdotes about them. And we spoke about Finn Juhl, Hans Wegner, Børge Mogensen, Arne Jacobsen and Poul Kjærholm. However, the challenge was selecting just 5 individuals from the large number of talented designers. And as a result, several important names were sadly left out. And therefore, we have decided to follow up with another video with an additional 5 designers you simply must know about.
Yeah.
Firstly, let's start with our absolute favorite designer, Verner Panton.
Yeah.
And he was born in 1926 in the small parish of Gamtofte. And his innovative and visionary approach to design made him a prominent figure of the mid-century modern movement. He experimented with unconventional materials, bold colors and organic forms, pushing the boundaries of traditional design aesthetic. Panton initially trained as an architect at the Royal Danish Academy of Fine Arts in Copenhagen. I really think all people we will talk about today have studied there. So
Totally.
Yeah. After completing his studies in 1951, he worked with architect Arne Jacobsen, who was developing his iconic ant chair at the time. Panton played a significant role in this project. In 1952, he left the Jacobsen office and went on a journey across Europe to establish contacts with international manufacturers and dealers before establishing his own design studio in 1955. The same year, Fritz Hansen launched the first series production of Panton furniture, including the Bachelor chair and the Tivoli chair. And a few years later, Panton began collaborations with Louis Paulsen, Unika Väv and Pluslinje, resulting in the creation of some of his most iconic pieces of furniture. So let's take a closer look at some of them. One of Panton's most iconic creations is definitely the Panton chair, developed between 1958 and 1967, so it was several years. It was the first chair to be made entirely of molded plastic in a single piece, and its distinctive form revolutionized furniture design. Although it proved to be a challenge to create such a chair in the early 60s, the manufacturer Vitra in Switzerland agreed to assist in its development. The Panton chair was first exhibited in the fall of 1967, and it has been in continuous production ever since, with just one short interruption. But over the years, the material and shape of the chair has changed for financial and also aesthetic reasons. Panton's design philosophy was characterized by his belief in creating stimulating environments that engaged the senses and encouraged individuality. And his interiors were often characterized by vibrant colors and sculptural forms, and playful elements that challenged traditional notions of space and perception. Some of his most amazing interior projects included the Vision exhibitions for the German chemical company Bayer in 1968 and 1970. And these installations showed Panton's futuristic vision, combining organic shapes, modular furniture, and futuristic lighting. Verner Panton's designs continue to inspire and influence contemporary designers and architects. His work can be found in numerous museums worldwide, including the Museum of Modern Art in New York and the V&A Museum in London. When he passed away in September of 1998, he was preparing his last exhibition, Light and Colors, arranged by the Trappholt Museum in Kolding.
Moving on to the amazing Grete Jalk, the designer, teacher and writer who was born in Copenhagen in 1920. She is best known for her contributions to Danish modern design, particularly in the field of furniture, of course. She began studying law and philosophy in the late 1930s, but dropped out of school halfway through to pursue a career as a designer. In 1939, she attended the Drawing and Applied School for Women, followed by an apprenticeship at a cabinet maker, from which she graduated in 1946. She also studied at the Royal Danish Academy of Fine Arts in Copenhagen, where one of her teachers was Kåre Klint.
Yeah.
During the 50s and 60s, she worked as a furniture designer and collaborated with several prominent Danish manufacturers, including Fritz Hansen and Poul Jacobsen. Jalk taught design from 1950 to 60 and opened her own design studio in 1954. Her designs often showcased clean lines, simplicity, and functionality. She created a range of furniture pieces, including chairs, tables, and cabinets, which have become iconic examples of mid-century modern design. Grete Jalk's work has been exhibited internationally and continued to be highly regarded in the world of design. She was also an important journalist and writer in the field of design. She worked as the co-editor of the design magazine Mobilia for several years and wrote several books. She also documented the furniture exhibited at the Copenhagen Cabinet Makers Guild's exhibition in a 4-volume edition called 40 Years of Danish Furniture Design. Jalk passed away in 2006 at the age of 86.
Yeah.
Her most iconic piece of furniture is hands down the sculptural bow chair, entirely made from molded plywood. Inspired by American designers like the Eameses, she presented several plywood designs as early as 1955 for the manufacturer Poul Jacobsen. However, the Danish market was not ready yet for these bold designs. 8 years later, her iconic bow chair was launched, and it won first prize at a British furniture competition and was acquired by the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Despite this success, only a few chairs were produced during Jalk's lifetime. However, since 2008, it has once again been in production by Lange Production.
Yeah.
A new chair costs between 3,000 and 3,500. Now let's take a look at some other furniture designed by Jalk.
Yeah. And now, let's talk about the architect Arne Vodder, who was born in 1926 and studied under none other than Finn Juhl at the Royal Academy in Copenhagen. Juhl's organic and sculptural designs had a significant impact on Vodder, and his time at the Academy greatly influenced him when he began to design furniture of his own. In 1950, he teamed up with the fellow colleague Anton Borg, and the two started their own design studio. This marked the beginning of a long collaboration, during which they designed furniture as well as low-cost housing. The studio relocated several times before finally settling in the Copenhagen suburb of Holte. Although Vodder designed a wide range of buildings, he's best known today for his simplistic furniture made from natural materials like rosewood and teak. Occasionally, colorful panels were used as contrast to the natural wooden surfaces. His designs included everything from cabinets and sideboards to chairs and tables, and he collaborated with a long range of manufacturers. Among the most known were Fritz Hansen, Frans & Söhn, and notably Sibast, for whom he designed several iconic sideboards, among other things. In 1957, Vodder received the first prize at the Milan Triennale for his number 29A sideboard, a large and minimalistic piece that collectors nowadays are prepared to pay huge sums of money for. The collaboration with Sibast, I'm not really sure, continued for decades, resulting in a vast collection of iconic pieces. However, in the 1980s, the demand for Danish modern furniture declined and the company was eventually sold. Fortunately, in 2012, a fourth generation of Sibast revived this company, and today several of Vodder's iconic pieces are once again being produced. Arne himself passed away in 2009 at the age of 83, but fortunately he lived to witness the rediscovery of his furniture by a new generation of design enthusiasts. And now let's take a look at some of Arne Vodder's most iconic pieces.
Next up is Nanna Ditzel. She was born as Nanna Jørgensen on October 6, 1923 in Copenhagen. She made significant contributions to the field of furniture design and is remembered not least for her playful experimentations with different materials and techniques, like molded fiberglass and wicker. The result was often unique and sculptural furniture pieces with organic shapes and innovative designs. She started her career as a carpenter apprentice before enrolling at the Royal Academy of Fine Arts. At school, she met her future husband, Jørgen Ditzel. And after graduating in 1946, the two established a successful design studio together. They worked closely together until Jørgen's premature death in 1951. In 1968, she remarried a British furniture dealer and moved to London, where she opened the showroom Interspace, showcasing the latest in international design. She moved back to Denmark in 1985 and reopened her design studio at the age of 62, remaining highly active as a designer. Throughout her long career, Nanna Ditzel received numerous awards for her designs, including the Danish Furniture Prize in 1990. Her work continues to be celebrated and exhibited in museums and design galleries worldwide. She passed away in 2005 at the age of 81. One of her most iconic designs is the hanging egg chair, also known as the Nanna chair, created in 1959 together with Jørgen. This hanging chair made from rattan is suspended from the ceiling and became an icon of Danish design and a symbol of modernity. It was originally produced in the workshop of Robert Wegner, but it is nowadays manufactured by Sika Design. Yeah. A new chair costs around $2,000 in furniture stores. Now let's take a look at some of her other pieces of furniture.
Yeah. And last but not least, Kofoed-Larsen, who was born in 1921 and gained international recognition for his sleek and elegant mid-century modern designs. Kofoed-Larsen's work was characterized by a mix of clean lines, organic forms and functional aesthetic. And he studied at the Danish School of Arts and Crafts in Copenhagen, where he developed his skills in the design and craftsmanship. Kofoed-Larsen drew inspiration from Scandinavian design principles, including simplicity, functionality, and the use of natural materials. After graduating, he opened his own studio in 1948, and during the 50s and 60s, Kofoed-Larsen created some of the most iconic pieces, which showcased his unique design sensibility. And one of his most notable works is, of course, the Elizabeth chair, designed in 1956. Named after Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, she bought 2 of these chairs.
And got to name them.
Yeah. This lounge chair featured a distinctive curved backrest and elegant tapered legs, showing the mastery of form and proportion. A similar chair, named Sälen after a community in central Sweden, was also designed for the Swedish manufacturer OP Möbler. And both these chairs are nowadays produced by the Danish company Menu. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. Menu, yeah, I'm not sure. Kofoed-Larsen's designs often incorporated expensive materials such as teak, rosewood and leather, creating a sense of timeless sophistication. His furniture pieces were praised for their attention to detail, craftsmanship and comfort, making them highly sought after by collectors and design enthusiasts. Although he gained international recognition, Kofoed-Larsen's designs were not mass-produced and remained relatively exclusive. He collaborated with various Danish manufacturers, including Forup Möbelfabrik, Christensen and Larsen, and Bovenkamp, among others, to bring his designs to life. Despite his successful career, Kofoed-Larsen's work received less attention in the later years of his life. However, in recent years, there has been a growing interest, of course, in mid-century modern design, leading to a renewed appreciation for his creations. Ib Kofoed-Larsen's designs continue to be celebrated for their timeless elegance and functionality with refined aesthetic. His contributions to Danish design have left a significant mark on the furniture industry. Ib Kofoed-Larsen passed away on December 22nd, 2003 at the age of 82. They all became just over 80 years old, yeah. And now let's take a look at some of his most iconic pieces of furniture.
Yeah. Now we've told you about 10 amazing Danish designers.
Yeah, this is top 10.
Yeah, but we could do many more.
Yeah, we could do like top 100.
Yeah.
Perhaps you want us to do a top 100? No.
That's too much.
Yeah. But do you have another favorite, someone we haven't talked about in these 2 videos?
Please tell us.
Yeah, let us know. We really want to know.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.